The company Dieselland hereby presents the grinder GR-7400, intended for sharpening of injector needles, lapping tools, and other fuel system components. At the front part of the grinder, there are a control panel and a work table. The connector for the workpiece drive is located on the control unit. This allows convenient working with a grinder when adjusting the work table and installing the workpieces. On the upper plate, there is a level for checking whether the grinder has been correctly installed in the horizontal position. The back part of the grinder houses a connector for the grinder's power supply cable, a supply socket for the monitor, as well as supply sockets for a microscope, backlight, or other additional equipment. The control panel accommodates the following: grinder on-off button, supply button and controller for built-in backlight intensity, supply button and RPM controller for grinding wheel drive shaft, RPM indication window in percent, supply button and RPM controller for the needle drive, RPM indication window in percent. Maximum needle rotation speed is up to 2000 RPM. Additional equipment and auxiliary tools. Additional equipment includes electronic protractors supplied in two varieties: protractor with measurement accuracy up to 0.01 degrees, protractor with measurement accuracy up to 0.1 degrees. The grinder's turntable is also graduated, with a graduation step of 2 degrees. For the performance of grinding works, 5 types of grinding wheels are used. 2 types with a tapered profile, 230 and 320 grit, and 3 types with a straight profile, and 100, 230, and 400 grit. A holder frame is used for grinding wheel installation. In order to minimize vibration during grinder operation, the grinding wheels are balanced in a special device. The grinding wheel frame assembly is mounted on the tapered shaft and statically balanced using weights. For convenient and safe grinding wheel replacement, use of a special puller is recommended. In order to remove a grinding wheel using the puller, use a wrench to hold the shaft in place and another wrench to slightly undo the retaining nut. After this, place the puller on the frame against the drive shaft end. Hold the shaft with a wrench and push the frame off the shaft. Next, remove the puller. Fully unscrew the retaining nut and remove the frame with the grinding wheel. Grinding wheel dressing on grinder GR-7400. A protective cover is included in the scope of delivery. For the dressing of a new grinding wheel, the normal protective cover must be removed from the unit. Install the additional cover in the standard mounts. In earlier grinder models, the shaft support bolts were used for fixation. Next, install the custom bracket on the turntable. Dismantle the bracket with prisms. When dressing grinding wheels, personal protective equipment, mask, and safety goggles must be used. The backlight can be covered with masking tape. Bring the solid cutter in contact with the grinding wheel and feed the table smoothly along the surface processed. A new grinding wheel must be dressed from 3 sides. Upon further use of the grinding wheel, it only needs to be dressed from the end, without removing the standard protective cover. Also included are special extension caps for increasing the linear travel of the table. When installed on the hand wheel handle pusher, it allows processing and feeding the workpiece in a wider range, for example, when dressing lapping tools. For the installation of longer workpieces, for example when dressing lapping tools, the scope of delivery includes additional brackets usable for transferring of the bearing point of the workpiece shank. We offer several types of industrial microscopes for work and control of the workpiece dressing process, which differ by their characteristics and functionality. The microscopes and their additional equipment are installed on a special stand. Injector needle dressing with the grinder GR-7400. Install the needle in a drive pulley of corresponding diameter and in the prism holder. Fix the support part of the bracket. Choose the required needle dressing angle. Activate the grinding wheel drive shaft and needle drive. Choose optimal needle and grinding shaft RPM using the percentage display. Follow the dressing process on the microscope monitor. More detailed information is available from us and our dealers.